Yo, what's going on guys? Lord here. Today we're on day 3 of the new season, and of course with the new season we always get new things that are added to the game. However, even though things are added to the game, there's still some things that could possibly come to the game within the next few weeks, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, rather than me having 4 different accents in that intro, hopefully you do enjoy the video. Sorry for not uploading yesterday. The government asked that I work for them for free for 10 hours, so I had to do that for them. But we're back, baby, and we're uploading videos all day, every day. Let's go! So the first thing that could possibly be added to the game here pretty soon is an armored wall trap. So it's going to have a health of 2500. It's going to come in a max stack of 20. It'll be found in stacks of 5 in floor loot and supply drops. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty rare if it's only found in floor loot and supply drops, because usually when something's found in supply drops, it's pretty rare when it's floor loot. So there won't be a lot of these, but there'll still be a decent amount. It's going to have an equip time of 1.5 seconds, and it can be placed on enemy builds, and you could apply it on any build type. And right now it doesn't take an inventory slot, so it's going to be like a trap slot, and it's non-editable. So once you put this on a wall, the only way to get past this wall is either to go around it or to break it. This does sound pretty OP. If you box somebody and then you put these walls on it, the only way they're going to be able to get out is if they break this wall. So if you box somebody in a storm and the storm is ticking for 5, they're stuck in here, and probably by the time they break the wall, they'll die. But this could also be used for good as well. If you're trying to revive one of your friends and somebody's just spamming you, you put up one of these walls and they ain't gonna do nothing. So this could definitely be used for good and bad. We'll have to see how this does in competitive. I'm honestly gonna be pretty sure that it's not gonna be added in competitive, and I'm not sure what I'm honestly gonna be pretty sure means, but I'm honestly pretty sure it's not gonna be in competitive. Let me know your opinions on this armored wall trap and how you think it's gonna affect the game. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or if I'm gonna hate it. We'll have to see. Now, the next thing that's supposed to come to the game is the mounted turret. Now, of course, a lot of people know this one because they funded it to come back to the game. We actually reached the max amount of fund that we needed, which was 1 billion gold. But after we reached it, it wasn't added in game, but in fact, they brought the max amount to 250 gold instead. Now, we're not quite sure why they did this. Is this because the max amount or the percentage amount was stuck at 0.01%, or they wanted to, do something else, or they want to change the way the numbers work for it? We're not quite sure, but we'll have to see what Epic does with this. I'm assuming next week when we get an update, this will change. But until then, we definitely reached the amount for the mounted turret, and we're supposed to get even more stuff later on. So the way this funding gold thing was supposed to work was the mounted turret was going to be round 1 or round 0 technically in the files. And once we reach the 1 billion amount, it would put the mounted turret in game. And then once we reach 10 billion, we would move on to round 1. And we would either choose the Rift-to-Go or the Shockwave launcher, and we would choose this by gathering 40 billion gold, which is a lot of gold if you think about it. But basically, whichever one got to 40 billion is the one we would add in game. And after that, we're not quite sure of the numbers, but then we were supposed to move on to round 2, which would be the Combat AR or the Combat SMG. Now, these aren't released yet, but the stats for them are in the game. And if you look at the stats for these combat weapons, they're not that OP from the looks of it. It doesn't look like it'd replace any of the ARs permanently, but it wouldn't be a gun that you wouldn't mind picking up, which I can't really complain about. Hey y'all, Future Lordy here. Past Lordy forgot to tell you there's actually a round 3 and 4. And right now they're on your screen. As you can see, it's going to be a boogie bomb or a combat shotgun and a flintlock or a proximity launcher. We're going to be able to choose between those two. That's round 3 and 4. Past Lordy forgot to tell you, so Future Lordy's telling you now. It also looks like we're going to be getting Rideable Wildlife here pretty soon. There's a riding sub-menu in the settings, and it's not being used yet. It's just added, which means we're probably going to get some way to use this later on in the season. Now, we're going to be riding kangaroos, dinosaur, wolves, horses, who knows? But we're definitely going to be riding something or someone. Wait a minute, huh? The next thing that could be added to the game here is spicy splashers. So this is pretty much going to work like Chug splashes, except it's not. So they're going to heal for 20 health, but it's no shield. It's just going to be white health. And it's going to have a speed multiplier about 1.4, and it's going to last for 1 minute. Now, this is going to be pretty interesting because instead of having one pepper that controls or that makes one person faster, you're going to have one pepper that makes 4 people faster. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be really great for competitive because when they want to rotate and only one person has a pepper, they just have to use one pepper splash and everybody's sped up. So this is going to definitely change up the game a little bit, and I think it's going to be really interesting for competitive. And of course, it's going to be really fun in normals too. Who doesn't want to get a little bit faster in game? With that being said, that's all the things that could be added to the game here pretty soon. We're not quite sure when these are going to be added or if they're going to be added. There's a possibility they may not be added, but I'm pretty sure since they're in the game and they've been worked out, they're going to be added to the game. But until they're added to the game, nothing is confirmed, obviously. But with that being said, hopefully you did enjoy the video, and if you did enjoy the video, make sure to like the video because it really does help the channel grow. And if you watched this far into the video, comment spicy pepper so I know you watched this far, and I'll see you in the next one.